Alright. So, as per usual, when it's just V, I'll give you guys a little bit of insight into her headspace right now. Bad, awful, terrible, really bad. This is not Veronica looking at her phone. This is me showing you guys things that are on her phone. Starting with... let's find it. Marty Holiday, an hour ago. Historically, sequels are worse than the original. Damn, wish I was the one that shot this movie. Dax, I can't believe we didn't get cast in the sequel, though. And then a bunch of hounds retweeting it. And then just after Veronica posted on Twitter, just saying, like, I miss the Bundys, because she really wants her parents right now, especially Lennon. Marty, man, Santa delivered early this year, even came in a bag and everything. So V called Benny, because no one from the club is awake. And Benny being one of her oldest friends, who... he knows enough. She's like, I need you to help hold me accountable right now, because if I see one more thing, I'm going to lose my fucking shit. As far as Veronica knows, Alice has not woken up since Storm last night. So, as far as Veronica knows, Alice might not know for certain that Mason is dead. She doesn't know. So, let's go. We'll first go to Marlo. V texted Marlo saying, hey, it's Veronica, Alice's sister-in-law-ish. Give me a call when you can, it's important. She texted Ivy as well, saying need to talk ASAP. And she also texted Brandon. Brandon, of the three, is the only one she was just straightforward and blunt with. Hey Brandon, this is Veronica, Allie's, well, whatever she considers me these days. I don't know when I'd catch you. Alice's brother died tonight. I don't usually like being that direct over text about those matters, but I know you and her are extremely close. So, hopefully, we can have, like, 2 of those 3 conversations. Veronica also texted Faraday last night. Just saying, call me when you get this. She texted Link as well. And this happened. Veronica is still sitting with this. She was with Raina when she got this text and was just like, I can't even, like, I can't deal with that right now. She's just like, I cannot deal with that right now. She also told JoJo, so, Nereus, funny that you're here. V was sitting up at Old Lady Hill, when she got a call from a doctor, informing her, that Mason was gone. So, without telling Lane or anybody, Veronica drove herself down to the hospital and said her goodbye. I don't want to play it for you guys, but I did record it. I posted it in the Discord. It'll go on, like, it'll go public on the YouTube as soon as the VOD, from yesterday goes up. They'll go live simultaneously. But that's the link if you guys want to watch it. Sauce DM'd me after, and he's like, you know that's not what Mason would want. Because Veronica said some things of, like, alluding to being like, I don't know how I stay. She is so conflicted right now. And she's like, I don't know how I look Wally in the face right now. But she also is like, if the positions were reversed, Mason would have done the same thing. Yeah. So it was like V saying that. And there's I'm getting choked up talking about it because this bitch is gonna be a sobbing mess. But V said to him that he is always going to be her fortune. And she gave him back his patch. His compass rose patch from his cut. She gave it back to him because she wants him to have that in death. And I forget what exactly she said to him, but it was like something along the lines of like, you'll always find your way home, or something like that. And in her talk with Raina after, like later that night, like V was just like, I hope he's with his mom. Like, if there is something after, I hope he's with his mom. But even though towards the end, like, he was a fucking mess. She's like, I hope he's with his mom and that she's proud. That, like, even though he made mistakes and, like, yeah, he did some really fucked up things. Like, in V's head, like, Mason still loved the people he cared about fiercely. And, like, she's trying to get her feelings out because she's like, I have Alice who is going to need so much support. And she promised him that she would look after Alice, which is why she's contacting Brandon, trying to reach out to Ivy, trying to reach out to Marlo, because she doesn't know if Alice is going to want her around. And, like, one of the things Veronica knows very well is that you don't get over a loss like that. It's always going to sting, because if you've been around a while, you know part of Veronica's backstory is when she was 18, she was involved in a DUI with her cousin, who was basically her brother. And she is the reason that he died, because she was driving under the influence. V is very specifically not texting Mason's phone. She knows that the club doesn't have it and that PD likely does, because James went to the hospital to try to get his phone. And PD had already been through and grabbed it and probably took it. And V also knows that PD is likely going to subpoena the contents of his phone. And she's like, she doesn't know the time frame, so she's worried about that. Because depending on the scope, she knows that there's likely texts that will directly implicate the club. But she's fairly certain that PD will piece it together pretty quickly. Especially the fact that he wasn't in his cut. So she's reasonably sure that Petey's going to piece together that it was a blood out. So she's reasonably certain there's going to be eyes on the club. So she's just like, the club needs to be prepared for anything that comes their way. Even though, funny enough, it was not the club in the end that murdered him, it was Wally. And it's like, V's doing what she can to, like, try to compartmentalize, but she's failing miserably. But she's kind of like, well, shit, here we go again. I had the thought last night, I'm like, characters are better off not marrying Veronica, because inevitably it means that they're going to die. Because of all of her exes, the only ones that are living are the ones that didn't marry her. So does no favors to Veronica's concept of I was born to bear, like, all the bad luck in the family. Does nothing to dispel that. But, like, the one person Veronica really wants right now is Lennon. No. He called Wally to come kill him, basically. After he shot Raina at the dam. He called Wally and told him, I guess, where he was. Brought his own snake and everything. But what killed V was the realization that the club was at the hospital to finish the job. And she was basically like, was Wally shooting him not enough? And, like, on some level, she acknowledges that Wally is technically not in the club anymore. But it doesn't make it... V has so many... Let me put it this way. V has so many conflicting feelings on the whole thing. She... Yeah. But here's the thing. He wasn't blooded out. So theoretically, he could come back tomorrow and be like, I want to come back. And the club could vote on it and he'd be back in his cut. I'm just saying theoretically, Nereus. I'm not saying that's what would happen. I'm just saying theoretically. So it's, like, a little different. Like, she has just a storm of emotions right now. Because I'm telling you, the biggest reason why Veronica Calaway is still in a cut is because of Mason. Because he told her her place is in San Andreas, her place is with the Raiders. Because it's like Mason said to Raina, the club was everything to him. The club was everything to Mason. But, like, V has to look Alice in the face every day now. Wearing the cut of the club that wanted her brother dead. And that's a gut punch for her. So I think, like, I'm thinking on, like, ways this plays out with V and just, like, the little things is, like, she might not wear anything Raiders in the house. Like, no founder's hat, no shirts, no cut. Well, I'm thinking about it. We're cutting 2 new keys. She thought about putting Raina back on the panel, but in her head, Raina is probably one of the last people that Alice wants to see right now. If Alice... Anyway. So, V kind of made up her mind of she's going to put Lottie on the panel if she wants to be, and she's going to put Brandon on the panel if he wants to be. Because, like, she knows how close Lottie and Allie are, and she obviously knows how close Brandon and Allie are. So she's gonna offer them both, like, keys to the house so that they can check on Allie as well. But, like, so much collided with V at once, and, like, she doesn't know how to respond to Lane. Like, she doesn't know how to respond to that. Like, it could not have been a worse time or way for Lane to say that. Also, if you guys didn't watch Mason's crash out on Raina, you should go watch that, because damn. Just, like, damn. The roleplay in that scene, holy shit. V did drink last night as well. And then Raina's like, do you have any more alcohol on you? And V lied and said no. Love rolled a 1, so I didn't call her on the lie. And then Veronica proceeds to take out a flask and just chug, like, a bunch of rum in front of Raina. Meanwhile, you had Wally just throwing shit at them. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. Also, Storm. I think that's part of why I'm also like a little crime bitch. It's because it's like, damn. It's like the culmination of like 2 years of role playing with somebody. Um, Veronica also saw like the snake on the table, obviously, and she was staring at it. And I can tell you guys now, the reason she was staring at it is she contemplated just picking up the bag. Like, not even to like let the snake bite her, but just like, you know, I would have rolled for if the snake bit her or not. Um, but yeah, V right now just wants her mom, dude. But like, I don't know if Joe would be willing to get on Lennon right now. I gotta DM her. And V, I don't know if I was still streaming when V no, I wasn't because it was after Storm. But V apologized to James for snapping at him. I think emotionally she's gonna be pretty volatile right now. Part of why I'm streaming today is to kind of give you guys a little rundown. Yeah, I just don't know if she would like bring her out yet, you know? Aside from the post on Twitter. I'll probably reach out to her like after stream. See if we can set something up. Yeah. I might just shoot her a DM and just be like, yeah. V was literally having her session with Siren where she was talking about like very vaguely because she couldn't just outright say, yeah, the club wants to kill Mason, right? And she sees this post on Twitter as the session's coming to an end about, sorry Wally, she's at the dam. And like the last time Veronica talked about a worst case scenario with Siren, within a few days that worst case scenario happened. So V mentioned that to Lottie, and Lottie goes, how about we don't talk about worst case scenarios with Siren anymore? And V's like, yeah, no, I'm good. I am so good. The reason that she's out here at the SDSO cemetery as well, but, yeah, V's initial thoughts were she doesn't want the club anywhere near the hospital. Like, as she was, like, walking out to the car, like, she's like, it's gonna go public anyway, so might as well ask Lane if she wants to visit him. And, like, V is also playing back, like, conversations she and Mason had the date that he left town, right? But, like, that's another layer of things that V is grappling with, is, like, you know, how do I be with the person who had a hand in this coming to pass, right? Why are we here at the graveyard? Because this is where Veronica's husband Harvey was buried. Canonically, Veronica had his remains cremated before she left town when the economy collapsed because she didn't want to leave him behind. And Harvey had, like, no other family to speak of. And, like, Jackie talked to Veronica a little bit. I don't think Veronica made him promise not to come back. I think she just asked him not to. But, like, here's the thing that, like, V can understand. And, like, she's like, everyone else is confused about why Mason brought his own snake, right? But V can see it pretty clearly that, like, Mason shot Raina knowing full well what was going to happen. And it was his own way of facing it. The rest of the club might not see it that way. Right? Wade is still going to see it the way Wade sees it, but Veronica sees it for what it was, and it was Mason going out on his own terms. And, like, she can't ignore that fact, right? That, like, ultimately, this was Mason's choice. Just a month delayed. That he came back knowing he was going to die. He came back knowing he was going to die. But I think trusting. Probably trusting that V would look after Allie. And, like, one of the things that V said to Raina on the phone was, he was only 25. He was just like, he's only 25. And then she had a talk with Benny as well last night. And, like, she didn't directly confirm anything, but she's like, you're not dumb. You can put pieces together pretty well. And like, they had a good little talk. Because here's the thing. Benny is one of her friends going back to 3.0. And like, V's never gonna put her grief on Allie. Like, we know that. Thank you, Storm. Like, she was teary talking to Allie last night. Because, like, she knew what was happening. She didn't know, but she knew. Right? Because Wally was out looking for Mason. And, like, she had been talking to Raina about what Mason said, so that had her very, like, emotional. Very, very emotional. So, you guys obviously know that's the other thing too. But you guys know that V and Mason had exchanged notes the last week or so. And that is something I don't intend for that to come out in character. So after Mason left this, some things need to be taken care of. I need you to understand that. V responded with, just be careful. I don't want the next time I see you. Fuck. To be bleeding out in Sandy or in a casket. I'm not going to ask you to promise. I know that's a stupid ask. But I'll reiterate what I said the last time I saw you. Fuck. These are... I wrote the goddamn thing and it's choking me up. No matter what happens, find a way to let me know that you're safe. The last response that she got from Mason was, I'm gonna be okay no matter what. I just have so much going on in my head and I couldn't figure it out away from Los Santos. Hope things are going well with you and Lane. You both deserve to be happy. Mason never saw her response. But V said, I'm doing my best. It's different. I wish you could figure out whatever it is you need to figure out away from this place. But I know you. You wouldn't have come back if you didn't feel like it was important. I read through our old texts. Things were so much more simple back then. Things are complicated and not at the same time, but it's like you said. My place is here, for better or worse. I believe you when you say you're going to be okay. I have to. To believe otherwise, I don't want to think that. I wish I could help you figure it out, but I know you have something. That's something only you can do. And you will. At the end of the day, whatever is best for you is something only you can decide. He never got a chance to see that response. Not for lack of trying. But that's something V is probably gonna take to the grave. Purely for her own safety. Because, like, her initial letter was just begging him to leave town. She left it somewhere that she knew he would find it. It was like her Hail Mary attempt. Of just, like, begging him to just please leave. If not for me, just think of your sister. How is this bitch thirsty again? What the fuck? Well, mechanically, she is eating and drinking. I don't want to end up wiping her stats again. Because I'm pretty sure going down to hunger does that. Not that these really matter much, but, like, I like seeing the number go up. So, like, mechanically, sure, she's eating and drinking. Actually. Oh. Boy. That's not good. Oh yeah, proms tonight. But yeah, she's still trying to figure out how to respond to Lane as well. Because she's like, man, that is certainly a choice to say that right now, Lane. Really a choice to say that right now. Like, how did, like, if he was just like, how do I even... She's very specifically not calling Remedy about it. Where? Let's see if Marlowe's around. She said, "I'm safe, I love you," in a text to Veronica last night. Oh, 100% it is up to V if she wants to say it back. But V's just like, out of all the times to drop that one on me, Lane chooses tonight. Literally 2 hours after V is told that Mason is dead. And like even Raina was like, you don't have to respond. Like they're not even technically together. So V's just like, huh? Also, we tried calling a judge to get the plate changed. Yep. Actually, we should do it like this, as I know driver's side. And like, I'm not saying like V isn't starting to feel the same way. Yeah. He gave it to her before he fled the state because it was bought for them. Like they picked out the car together, they picked out the paint together. Like everything about this car they picked out together. Yeah. The one that like for several months they would go to the tuner shop and he he would test drive it while they drove around talking. Yes. This is that car. She tried calling a judge because she has been wanting to change the plate to Promise. Because, like, here's the thing about Veronica, right? She still loves Harvey, even though he's been dead for 8 years. Like, love doesn't just go away because someone's dead. You know? It's something that unfortunately Veronica is intimately familiar with. Is like that, losing the person you thought you couldn't live without. So she knows, like, she can get through this, right? Like, logically, she knows she can get through this. She knows that she can get through this because she's done it before. Which I think is something, like, Siren said to her last night, too. It's like, she's been through this, right? She's done this before. Because the thing you gotta remember about V and Mason's breakup is Mason didn't... And this is, like, by Mason's own words, right? He didn't leave her because he didn't want her or love her. He left her because he wasn't really sure that a relationship was for him or what he wanted. And, like, V can't fault him for being 25 and you know, not really being fully sure what he wants. We're gonna park this bad boy up because... Actually, no. First we gotta go to Mosley's and get wax on it. Is what we gotta do. And then we gotta move the bike back to Mirror Park. But, like, I think this is, like, the most whiplash, conflicting feelings Veronica has ever had around someone dying. And, like, it's not even, like, about Mason in that regard. Because, like, she loves him. Like, that's unquestionable. It's about the everything else surrounding it. You know? Oh my god. Did I just kill that person? Did I just kill a person? I am so sorry. I don't even know. I didn't hit you when... I'm gonna throw that in my eyes. I didn't hit you.
That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy.
Okay, but you're okay though.
No, I'm good, bro.
Okay. That shit was crazy. Yeah, she's already going on her rampage, dude. You know what? It's Frodo's birthday. How about we go shoot Frodo? But not in this car. Someone just posted happy birthday, Frodo. And like, here's the thing. Veronica has a really good relationship with Frodo. But like, what if she just shot him? You know? What if she just popped him in the dome? Yeah. He was their parole officer. But like, here's the thing. Frodo never once like checked them or anything during their parole, so he was actually a pretty chill parole officer. Because like, if it had been other cops, like, say, Brian Knight, they would have been getting checked so frequently. We are probably trying to figure out if I want to move this to the tavern. Purely because, like, half the time when I come here to take the car out, there's cars on top of it. But yeah, we tried to get the plate changed today. We called a judge. Unfortunately, could not get a hold of one. Also, this is not going to be a long stream because we are the only raider awake. Let's look at the live feed now. No more black bears. And I said that intentionally because sometimes there's so much. Why are we? Oh yeah, we have to get back in the car just to make sure that it sticks. Why is this behaving like a manual? V did crash her bike last night up by the dam. We were trying to go see her coyotes. One of V's things since 3.0 is she likes to go sit with the coyotes that are just like up in the hills above Mirror Park. There was one event, I think it was a fishing tournament, up on Cassidy Trail where V, was injured and didn't really want to participate. So she just sat with a coyote for the entire time. It was her friend. So It is funny though, because like I haven't often had her in 4.0 go see the coyotes, but she's kind of in the last like few months kind of started going up there again. I forgot to put some scenes up in the house. I put up scenes in Allie's room, but I did not put up ones that I wanted to. And then I gotta run to the restroom. She didn't even play Jersey Girl last night. She played My Girl instead. Not even gonna put up individual scenes. If you know, you know. Actually. I know where we're gonna put those. Now, if you'll remember, Veronica hates peanut butter 9 times out of 10. She made a small batch of peanut butter cookies and then was like, who the fuck is gonna eat these? I'm not giving them to Riley. So she ate half the container. And actually, let's see other. If he just wanted to be in pain last night. Okay. We might add Raina back. We'll see. Right now, the big reason V's not doing that is, just not sure Allie would want to see Raina. Alright. Didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this because I need to run to the restroom. Alright, I'll be back.